shutout coming against the Phillies. He's 1-1 this year against the Phillies. Lifetime 11-7 against the Phillies. The umpires for tonight's game: Randy Marsh calling the balls and strikes, Harry Wendelstadt, the crew chief, at first base, Joe West at second, and Fred Brocklander at third. The Cubs lost today to St. Louis 3-1. Ken Hill winning that game for the Cardinals, so the Phillies are a half a game ahead of Chicago in National League East. The Mets are a game and a half behind Pittsburgh following the Pirates' loss last night. Birthday wishes tonight to Mrs. Yora DeFonso of Oakland, New Jersey. Great Phillies fan. And Harold Doherty of Norristown, 72 years young today.
James Martz, Levittown, 92 years old today.
As Andy mentioned, Doc Gooden has been beaten by the Phils more than any other club. 7 losses to the Phils. He's won 11. His career ERA against the Phillies is 2.94. He has an amazing lifetime record: 111 wins and just 45 losses at age 25. Good fastball, 2 speeds of curveball, and occasional changeup. Mostly the fastball, curveball. And Lenny Dykstra will be the first one to face him. Lenny batting .345. He leads the league in hitting, leads the league in on-base percentage, third in the league in runs scored. Has hit his ex-teammates, the Mets, pretty well this year, .341. Lifetime against Doc Gooden, 3 hits and 8 at-bats. Oakland beat Baltimore in another day game today, 5-2 Oakland. Starts in with a heater for a strike. Fastball misses, and it's 1-1.
I think I've suffered ear damage over here this series. Those planes have been taken off for 3 days. Can you sue anybody over that?
I don't believe so, pal. Our ground ball just fouled down the first baseline.
That just missed. Just missed.
Dykstra took a second look. John Vukovich peered that way, but Harry Wendelstadt called it foul. Wow. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Fastball away. It's 2-2.
Teresa Scatella and El Massarello celebrating birthdays on this cool August 9th. This is a good day for pitchers. It's nice and cool here.
Yeah, it is. As long as we stay away from the wet stuff. Very high with a curveball. Good and third in the league in strikeouts behind Ramon Martinez and teammate David Cohn. Gooden has struck out 142 while walking 45. Dykstra spoils a 3-2 fastball, still 3-2.
About what he did is just spoil it. He couldn't do much with it. It was a good pitch outside part of the plate and thrown hard. Mets have been pitching Dykstra for the most part in tight, and he's hurt him a little bit.
Offensive foul down the first base side. Still 3-2.
Harry Poper from Royersford, 77 today. And Ed Brooks celebrating a birthday.
Fouls that one left field side, making Gooden throw a lot of pitches here to the first batter. It's still 3-2 to Lenny Dykstra. Lenny tied for second in the league in doubles with 28 behind only Tim Wallach. Wallach has 31. Second in the league in walks with 65 behind Jack Clark of San Diego. Slams a hit to right field. So Lenny Dykstra is a leadoff base runner with a single to right. It'll bring up Darren Daulton.
Well, Lenny really worked the count. Finally got a pitch he can really get pretty good wood on. Wasn't a bad pitch from a pitcher standpoint.
Lenny, a leadoff base runner, and it brings on Darren Daulton, batting .246. He's tied his career high in homers with 8. He also had 8 last year and 8 in '86. Hitting .319 out of that 2-hole.
This is one of Gooden's flaws is that base runners can take some liberties on him. And I would think that Dykstra would be running here.
Lenny has 23 stolen bases. He's only been caught 3 times. Daulton lifetime has not been a good hitter against Doc Gooden. He's 0.95 lifetime against the Doc. Dykstra holds his ground. The pitch misses. 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Darren Daulton.
Dykstra has a green light. He can go on his own.
He got the fastball over. It's 1-1. Dykstra gets back. One ball and one strike to Daulton. Dykstra going on the pitch. Sasser's throw, and he's out at second base. A strong throw by Matthew Sasser to Howard Johnson.
That's a fair jump, but you have to give Sasser credit. He had a good pitch to handle and a good pitch to throw, and he made a perfect throw right down there where Johnson, all he had to do was lower the glove.
Sasser has really improved his throwing under the tutelage of Doc Edwards. Daulton, a base hit to right field. So that caught stealing hurts the Phils here in the first, as Daulton is a one-out base runner for Von Hayes. Von hitting .262. 13 homers. He's knocked in 49. He's been a pretty good lifetime hitter against Gooden. .317 his average lifetime against Doc. Both Dykstra and Daulton have hit Gooden's fastball for base hits. So he may still start going to a few more deuces.
Probably will to Hayes, because that's the way they pitch Hayes. Got a junk, off-speed stuff.
Started him with a fastball that missed. 1-0 Devon Hayes. Hit to center field. Keith Miller is there, makes the play. Hayes is out. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Dale Murphy. Murphy batting .236. He's hit in all 6 games since joining the Phillies. Batting .292 during that 6-game streak. Lifetime at .237 hitter against Doc Gooden with 1 career home run. The ball to deep center, but Miller backtracking and makes the catch, going away, and that will retire the side. Phillies hit some hard outs in the inning, but go down. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. After 1/2, Phil's nothing. Mets. The cast is presented by authority of the Phillies. It may not be rebroadcast in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies and WTXF. Fox 29 in Philadelphia. Combs doing the pitching for the Phillies tonight. The 23-year-old rookie from Houston, Texas. Baylor University graduate. Has beaten Sid Fernandez 8-3 at Veterans Stadium. Was shut out by Doc Gooden 3-0 here at Shea. Had 1 no decision game against the Mets after that. Lifetime he is 2-1 against New York with a good career ERA of 2.81. Mets lead the league in runs scored. They scored 538 runs, second in the majors behind Toronto. Mets lead the league in homers with 126, second in the majors behind Toronto. Nick Leyva. And Keith Miller will lead it off for New York. Miller batting .296. A tough out for the Phils. .304 lifetime against the Phillies. He's been hitting well lately. .372 in his last 19 games. 1 strike to it. Charlie Hayes moves in shallow at third. Miller is a good bunter and tries to bunt for base hits. Ball and 1 strike. Smothers the ball foul down the third base side into our camera deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Keith Miller. At the rim of the infield grass, puts it away. Miller is out, 1 down. It'll bring up Dave Magadan. Magadan batting at .341. He is hitless lifetime against Pat Combs. Nothing out of 6. Dodgers have scored 3 runs at Cincinnati. Still batting in the 1st inning. Cincinnati's lead is 5 over San Francisco in National League West. 1-0. Two balls and no strikes to Magadan. Combs in 122 innings, 76 strikeouts, too many walks, 59 walks. 3-0. To Magadan. Phillies shade him around to the opposite field. He gets a lot of his hits to left field. Walked it. So Magadan is a one-out base runner for Greg Jeffries. Jeffries hitting .304. He's batting about the same right-handed as left, a little better right-handed. 0 for 8 this year against Pat Combs. Lifetime, he has 1 hit and 11 tries. Up in the box is empty bunt, and he takes high for a ball, 1-0.
A wild spell here. Everything is high. Must be a new rule out that you're not allowed to get hitters out on 1 or 2 pitches anymore. It's like most of the pitchers take 5, 6, 7 pitches.
He missed with a fastball, 2-0. Bases on balls have really hurt the Phillies pitching staff this year. Offs a high fly to right field. Darryl Murphy makes the grab. 2 down. It'll bring on Kevin McReynolds. McReynolds hitting at .261. He's 0 for 7 this year, 1 for 10 lifetime against Combs. Not many of the net hitters have good lifetime marks against Pat. He's pitched well against New York. High with a fastball. Get into first base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 0-0. Just missed with that breaking ball. 2-0.
Might have been a little low.
Yeah,
was.
Through the middle, the mound slows it down. It's a base hit, and Magadan will hold at second. So the Mets have 2 men on base with 2 outs for Darryl Strawberry.
McReynolds picked up a couple hits yesterday, and get behind him, and you have to come in. He can hurt you.
Strawberry hitting .288. Tied for 4th in the league in runs batted in with 74. Tied for the league lead in homers with 26. One of his homers coming off Pat Combs. He's 2 for 10 lifetime off Combs, including a home run. Nearly hit him 1-0.
All of a sudden, Combs is all over the place with that fastball.
Pitching coach Darryl Knowles. scored another run at Cincinnati. It's now 4-0. Still batting in the first. One ball and one strike to Strawberry.
Strawberry takes a mean cut. Didn't get that one.
Get away with a fastball into him. He likes to extend his arms. Don't get it out over the plate, though. Snap throw to second base. Magadan gets back. Meanwhile, it is 3-1 to Strawberry. We'll see if Combs challenges him with a 3-1 fastball. He did, and he walks it a mile high. It's not going to leave the park. Dykstra at the rim of the warning track makes the catch. That'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. And at the end of 1, it's Join Lee McCarthy and Jill Chernikoff for late breaking up to the minute news immediately following tonight's game on Fox 29. Don't forget our final business person special of the year coming up next Thursday, August 16th, a week from today at 12:35. Plan to take the afternoon off and enjoy Phillies baseball against Kevin Mitchell, Will the Thrill Clark, Robbie Thompson, Matt Williams, and all those San Francisco Giants. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at First Pennsylvania Bank, Center Square. John Kruk leads off for the Phils. Kruk hitting .283. He is now 5th in the league in on-base percentage at .391. And a good hitter lifetime off Doc Gooden. .429 lifetime with a homer. 1-0. Down the left field side and into the crowd. 1-1 to count to Kruk. Kevin McReynolds is still giving Kruk a good part of the left field line, which is a little surprising. Kruk doubled just inside the left field line yesterday against less than as hard a thrower as the fella Kruk's looking at tonight.
Gooden has not been able to get his off-speed stuff over yet, and it sometimes takes him an inning or two, but when he gets it put together with that fastball, he's tough. So if you're going to get him, you better get him before that.
He's fallen behind Kruk 3-1. Beats a foul back behind the plate. Full count. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
WTXF, Fox 29 in Philadelphia.
Full count to John Kruk, leading off the Phillies' second 0-0 game. Got him with a curveball. Kruk chased it. It was in the dirt. First strikeout for the Doc.
Yeah, Kruk was locked into a fastball, and it's a real bad pitch.
Here's Tom Herr hitting at .269. Their lifetime 2 for 10 off the dock. 1-0. San Diego got 5 in the first at Atlanta. Dodgers got 5 in the first at Cincinnati off Jack Armstrong, who has struggled since the All-Star break. Two balls and no strikes to Tom Herr. Ground ball, Magadan. Kadak covering. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Charlie Hayes. Charlie batting .269. He's hitless lifetime against Gooden, nothing out of 5. Montreal at Pittsburgh has Kevin Gross going against Neil Heaton. They're 0-0 in the bottom of the second at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh picking up Zane Smith from Montreal. He should help them in the stretch drive. Off the glove of a diving Tuffle and into shallow left field for a base hit for Charlie Hayes. So Charlie's a 2-out base runner. Phillies' 3rd hit off Gooden. It'll bring up Dickie Thon.
Charlie really jumped on that pitch. Fastball up and in a little.
Thon batting .267. He's hitless lifetime against Gooden, nothing out of 7. Dickie's been hitting well since the All-Star break, .318. Loops a foul, out of play, 0-1 to Dickie Thon. Gooden's 2nd year in baseball, 1985. He won the Cy Young Award unanimously with a 24-4 record and a 1.53 ERA. Those are numbers he'll probably never repeat.
Bob Gibson beat the ERA one year, 1.12, I believe.
Yeah, 1.12.
Gibson lost 9 games with a 1.12 ERA. You wonder how he did that.
A few 1-0 games mixed in there. Nothing in 2 to Dickie Thon. Nothing game. We're in the 2nd.
Charlie Hayes doesn't try to steal here. He's never going to try and steal.
He's never going to try to steal. And there's a pop foul back out of play. Two strikes with 2 outs.
Danny Ozark, where are you when we need you?
The automatic. Thon is hit by a pitch ball. Doc did not want to do that with Thon buried in the count 0-2. And the Phillies have 2 men on base with 2 outs for Pat Combs. Combs batting .125, 1 double, 1 run batted in.
This had to hurt a little bit, and Thon didn't even rub it. That was, I think, on the elbow.
Looked like it. Fastball is over to Combs. 0-1. Ground ball hit sharply to Johnson. Hojo makes the play to second. To retire the side for the Phillies in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, for over 50 years managing health with care. The Mets' Tom Seaver and Doc Gooden are 2 of 5 pitchers in Major League history to win both the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award in their careers. Can you name the other 3? May be worded improperly. Are you sure Major League history or National League history? Howard Johnson lofts a high fly to left field. Von Hayes makes the grab. 1 out on 1 pitch, and the batter will be Tim Tuffle.
Who are you talking to? I didn't make up the question.
Major League. Talking to our executive producer, Ray Tippett. I was thinking he might have missed that height of blue.
Height of blue.
Here's Tim Tuffle.
Won the Cy Young and was the MVP.
But he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Okay.
No.
All right. How could I ever question the tip? 1-0 to count to Tuffle. One out, no base runners in the second. 0-0 game. 2-0. The foul down the left field side, way out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Missing. 3-1. Second walk given up by Combs. 1 out. It'll bring up Mackey Sassers, hitting .345. He's 2 for 4 off Combs, including a homer. Tough out for the Phils. .423 this year against the Phillies. Lifetime a .394 hitter against the Phils. With the breaking ball. Two and nothing.
And behind a lot of hitters.
Tough way to pitch.
Especially this guy. This guy's a dead fastball hitter, and a good one.
3-0. Walked him on 4 pitches. 3 walks surrendered by Combs. Mets have 2 men on base, 1 out for Doc Gooden, who may or may not bunt. Doc's a pretty good hitting pitcher.
No way he'll bunt. He has a homer and 8 RBIs.
Lifetime, he has 3 home runs, 38 RBIs. Phillies infield talking it over. Two men on base with 1 out here in the second. And Doc Gooden, the batter. He wheeled a bunt. And the pitch is high. Now Nick Lave is going to come out.
I do not think he's going to bunt, even though he squared around the bunt on that first pitch. He had all the infielders kind of jockeying around out there. Dickie Thon was faking a move to third. Charlie Hayes was faking a run to home.
Nick Lave is making his point to Pat Combs. He rarely comes out. Knowles usually will come out and talk to the pitcher, but he wants Pat to start challenging some people. One ball and no strikes to Doc Gooden. He bunts the ball. It's a good one. Combs is going to have to hurry. No, he didn't get him, and Tom Herr is going to argue with Wendelstedt. Harry Wendelstedt ruling safe. It'll be a bunt base hit. I'll be interested to see the replay on that. Nick Lave coming out.
I think you have to see the replay to know that he blew the call. Herr made a good play in the ball and had the bag. I don't think Gooden had quite reached it. See Combs here get the ball and gun it. Oh, come on.
He's out.
Yeah, no wonder Herr put up such a squawk.
So now that puts Pat Combs in a big hole. Harry Wendelstedt missed that one. Bases loaded, 1 out for Keith Miller, who popped up his first time up. Tap towards second base. Tom Herr's only going to get 1 on it. Coming in to score is Tuffle, and the Mets lead at 1-0. Give Miller a run batted in.
Well, the walks and that bad call set up that run, and Combs is still not out of the inning, but if that ball had been hit a little bit harder, Herr could have made the tag on Gooden and then gone to first, but the ball was hit so slowly he had to go up ahead of the base runner, Gooden. And when Gooden stopped, he made the easy force at second.
Met runners first and third with 2 outs for Dave Magadan, who walked his first time up. 1-0. See that play at first base with a naked eye from the press box and a guy right on top of it. couldn't see it unless he called her off the bag.
Well,
I don't believe he did.
No, he didn't call her off the bag. Her was flat on the bag. He thought that Gooden beat it. Almost think sometimes an umpire gets too close to that play. Maybe should back off a little bit.
One ball and 2 strikes to Magadan. Good breaking ball. Magadan called out on strikes. That will retire the side. The Mets get a run. 1 hit, a bunt single by Doc Gooden. No errors. When Julia Roberts talks about her new movie Flatliners on the Arsenio Hall Show. Catch tonight at 11:30 on Fox 29. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For over 50 years managing health with care. The Mets' Tom Seaver and Doc Gooden are 2 of 5 pitchers in Major League history to win both the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award. Can you name the other 3?
But Fernando
did it in the same year. Got the Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in 1981. Is one of them.
How about Brett Saberhagen?
Would be incorrect.
Kidding.
No. Lenny Dykstra leads off for the Phils. He singled his first time up. One is still active, one is not.
So what about Doc?
No, he is. I said he and Tom Seaver are 2 of 5. Who are the other 3? One of them you faced many times.
Be that Juan Marichal.
No.
I don't know.
Don Newcomb.
Really?
And Rick Sutcliffe. He's Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers in '79. Cy Young for the Cubbies in '84.
Oh, I thought you meant the same year.
No.
Well, Fernando was the same year.
He was the same year, yeah. He was the only one that did it the same year in their careers. Lenny hits it to left center, and Kevin McReynolds can't get it. Dykstra will end up at second with a double. His 29th 2-base hit of the year. His second hit of the night. Good effort by Kevin McReynolds. That ball was kind of slicing back to him, but still just out of his reach.
I thought it hit his glove. Maybe it didn't, but I think it did.
He got a piece of his glove on it.
A piece of it, yeah.
Now Darren Dalton will try to pull the ball here and move that runner up. Dalton singled his first time up. Phillies' 4th hit off Doc. 1-0 Mets. Were in the 3rd. He pulls the ball all right, a base hit, and Dykstra will be held at 3rd. That ball got to Strawberry in such a hurry that Boa had no choice but then to hold Lenny Dykstra at 3rd base.
The hanging curve he just hit. He reached out. Actually, the Phillies have hit the ball pretty hard off Gooden here in the early going. Even the outs have been hit pretty hard.
Von Hayes lined out to center his first time up. Philly runners 1st and 3rd. Nobody out here in the 3rd.
Hayes is really a key hitter right now with the situation the way it is.
Gave him a curveball that goes high for a ball. 1-0. Let's play the infield at double play depth. They would trade a run for 2 outs here on a ground ball. That's lead 1-0. We're in the third. Fastball hit on the ground to Magadan. Magadan throws to second base to throw home late. Lenny, good base running. Scores easily. They get a force at second. We're tied at 1-1. Give Hayes a run batted in. Magadan probably had Dykstra dead to rights had he run at him after catching the ball.
That is heads up base running by Dykstra, because Magadan gave him a pretty good look. And Lenny did stop. Then Magadan going to second. Lenny took off. That's a good look there. Johnson had no chance to get Dykstra.
So Von Hayes at first with 1 out.
He really didn't have a chance for the double play either after that pause by Magadan.
Dale Murphy takes inside. Murphy line to deep center his first time up. 1-0. Missing with a curveball. 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to Murphy. He popped him up. Greg Jeffries, the second baseman, in foul ground, puts it away. So Murphy is out, 2 down. It'll bring on John Kruk, who struck out his first time up. Von Hayes first base, 2 outs. A run in. We're tied at 1-1 here in the third. Hayes has stolen 10 bases. He's been caught 5 times. Kruk fouls that one, backing out of play. 0-1 to John Kruk. Fastball. 0-2. Now you'll probably see a lot of deuces. Chased a bad curveball to strike out his first time up.
Good time to run that Von Hayes.
Yep.
Give Kruk a clean slate even if he gets thrown out.
Didn't think so. Hayes was not going, and Kruk fouls it out of play. It's still 0-2.
Throw him a pitch right down the middle of the plate. Don't think he wanted to, but he did.
Still 0-2 to Kruk. Very high, 1-2.
Got to go this pitch, Harry. Has to.
He holds his ground. Pitch is inside. It's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Kruk. Missed high with a curveball.
They'll be running now, Harry. I knew we'd get it right.
He struck Kruk out with a 3-2 curveball his first time up that was in the dirt. See what he gives him here, 3-2. Curveball tapped to second base. Jeffries retires Kruk, and that will retire the Phils. Phillies tie it with a run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Phils 1 and New York 1. Greg Jeffries leads off for New York, bottom of the third. He flied to right his first time up. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third. And 0 to Jeffries. Pulled him with a changeup, 1-1. Beats it foul back behind the plate. 1-2 the count to Greg Jeffries. A little bit high with a breaking ball. 2-2. Takes a bad hop for a base hit over Charlie Hayes. Hayes quickly gets. Oh, the ball is caromed off the glove of Dickie Thon, and Jeffries ends up at second. Hayes made a strong throw into second base, but Dickie Thon tried to catch it and change direction. Should be an error on Thon.
Yeah, that's what happened. That bad break on the bad hop here, that almost peeled Charlie Hayes. And a bad break on the throw.
Here's Kevin McReynolds with a runner at second base. McReynolds singled his first time up. Giving Von Hayes the error. That's a tough error to give to Von Hayes.
Yeah, they'll change it when they get some more information.
2-0. Here's the throw.
Here it is. And see, Thon just ticked that ball. Just enough to change the direction. Was a high throw.
3-0 to McReynolds. Might have a green light here. He did. And he sends it to right center, where Murphy will make the catch, but Jeffries will tag and move to third. Well, Jeffries at third base with one out for Darryl Strawberry. Straw fly to deep center his first time up. Phillies will keep the infield back. They'll concede a run on a ground ball. One strike to Strawberry. Offs a high fly to right field. Might be deep enough to score the run. Murphy gets himself in position. Here comes Jeffries, and he's out at home plate on a great throw by Dale Murphy. Murphy, a one-hopper to Darren Dalton, and that will retire the side. For the Mets in the third, no runs, one hit, one error, none left. Andy Musser comes along in the fourth. At the end of three, Phillies 1, New York 1.
Brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beast with age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. Bell of Pennsylvania, a Bell Atlantic company. And by the Olds Connection, feel the quality and excitement of driving a new generation Oldsmobile. Dale Murphy just made a perfect throw to get Jeffries at home. You know, we talk about Murphy is a great hitter, but he's also a Gold Glove outfielder. You won't make a better throw than that. Perfect one-hopper. Dalton had time to wait and make the tag easily. Andy Musser with us in the fourth. Andy.
All right, Whitey, that preserves the 1-1 tie for the Phillies, and Tom Herr leads it off. A strike to Tom. He was out on a 3-1 hookup as he grounded the ball out to Maggott in the last time up. He'll be followed by Charlie Hayes and Dickie Thon. Dwight Gooden has looked more hittable tonight than he has at times past, and yet the Phillies haven't really taken advantage. There's a curveball and a base hit up the middle. Tommy Herr bounced the curveball right back through the middle. Hit number 6 for the Phillies.
I think Doc is struggling. He probably realized that. He just threw up a high curveball to Tom Herr.
The mark of a good pitcher is to pitch effectively and win when you don't have your best stuff, and he doesn't tonight. Now he faces Charlie Hayes, who last time up got his first career hit off Doc. A single off Tuffle's glove at third base. Catches the corner. One strike. Charlie with the best fielding average of any third baseman in the National League. Again, right on the corner. They are two perfect pitches by Gooden.
Now this is a little outside. See, not much. Not much, but just a tad. They're good pitches, especially if, you know, if Randy Marsh is going to call that pitch. But he's put two right in the same spot.
Charlie tries to take one that way and fouls it. Still 0-2 on him now.
3 in the same spot.
Right. And so many times we've said that Charlie hits him with 2 strikes, so let's see how he makes out here. This is the 3rd time in 4 innings that the Phillies have had their leadoff man on against Gooden, and that itself is unusual. One and 2. By the way, Charlie came into the season, he was at the tail end of last year, overweight a little bit. He and Nick Leyva didn't get along that well a lot of times. Nick criticized him publicly, but Charlie didn't take it personally and worked hard over the offseason to get his game together and also to get himself in shape. And Nick Leyva really sings his praises now. Tried for that corner again, didn't catch it this time. It's 2 and 2. Ever since he first arrived in the big leagues, he's had a lot of nervous type mannerisms out on the mound. His cap looks about as bad as Cookie's, doesn't it, except it's blue.
Sweating a lot on this cool night. He makes a few hitters nervous too.
The curveball misses. He has not had good command of that curve tonight.
Where Charlie Hayes now has to really bear down on this 3-2 pitch. He'll almost certainly get a fastball. He wants to make sure it's a strike, because I imagine Herr will be running.
Herr goes, and the pitch is ball 4, but he swung at it.
Now way up high. You don't have a whole lot of time, you know, to stand around and sort those balls out from the strike, but this was way out of the strike zone. That's up there by his neck. Charlie knows it.
Goes again, and this ball is punched to right field. That'll be in for a hit. Tom Herr to third base easily as he was running with the pitch, and the Phillies have a 1st and 3rd, no out.
That was probably a ball also, but it was at least closer to the strike zone here where Charlie could get his bat on it. Yeah, that was up a little bit, probably got a piece of the plate, but Hayes did just what you have to do to that pitch. Go the other way with it. Now here's where Dickie Thon becomes a big batter in this inning with the pitcher coming up next. The infield is back.
They will concede a run here and play for a double play. Dickie was hit by a pitch in his only at bat tonight. The Mets were in double play depth earlier tonight and then didn't go for the double play, except they did try to get the runner at the plate. It was a strange play. He checked his swing. No swing, says Harry. Wendell Stat, 1 ball, no strikes.
Gooden's still working to get that curve over, and he hasn't been getting it over. As hard as he throws, he can't get by with 1 pitch. Nobody can do that.
Well, right now, it doesn't look like he wants to throw the ball. Phillies have him on the ropes here, 1st and 3rd, nobody out, except that it's the bottom of the order now. And Thon swings and misses.
Got that one over. Might be the first one he's thrown for a strike. He's thrown some that hitters have swung at. Now That's a pretty good pitch. He has to be careful with that pitch because Dickie Thon can hit that pitch if he makes a mistake with it.
Dickey gets jammed, fouls it, 1-2. This is Gooden's 23rd start, and his only complete game was a shutout against the Phillies. Curveball, and he hung it, but was way up. 2-2. We are in a 1-1 tie, and the Phillies are trying to take care of that here in the top of the fourth. Thon gets a high pitch, a little humpback liner, caught by Howard Johnson. First out of the inning, and as you said, Whitey, that's the big one because now you got the pitcher coming up.
And that was a real bad pitch that Thon swung at. It was way too high.
The Mets will wonder whether there might be a suicide squeeze here.
Gooden really see the look of disgust on Thon's face. Gooden really flopped up a bad pitch there and got away with it, really.
Might the Phillies pull the squeeze here? Of course, Combs being a left-handed batter makes it tougher. But the Mets have talked it over.
I don't think they'll try to squeeze. You know, he's not a bad hitter. I mean, he usually gets the bat on the ball, and even if he doesn't, you have Lenny Dykstra coming up next. I don't think you want to risk a blown squeeze play and then have Combs make the third out.
Takes the full rip. Got a fastball a little bit up.
That's what Combs has to do, is make sure he gets a strike, but it's doubtful that he'll do that. That would be the ideal thing to do.
But Gooden, if he can control it, is smarter than that. Well, he got their attention. I'm not sure he really was bunting then. He might have been, but he sure got Tuffle's attention at third base.
I think he was going to sacrifice that play. I think Combs a better hitter than that. I think he could get the run in himself. I think the Phillies signs are a little confused now. Nick's going through them again, giving them to Boa. Boa called time in a hurry because I think he felt that somebody had messed up a sign.
Combs takes the full cut, fouls it back. So it's 1-2 now on Pat, so we probably can put the bunt out of our minds. And Larry didn't look any too happy, so far this is not working out exactly right. There's a curveball for a strikeout. Gooden gets his second strikeout, and ironically, although he has had trouble with the curve, both of his strikeouts have come on curveballs tonight.
So they're discussing. I think Combs must have missed a sign somewhere, and they're talking about it.
All right, well, Lenny Dykstra does get a shot, and Lenny's had a good game so far. 2 for 2, a single and a double. He scored the Phillies' only run tonight. Look at the defense with 2 out, and the Phillies have runners at first and third, just the way they started the inning, but now it's 2 outs later. Curveball is high, ball 1. Well, the Dodgers now have 9 runs, 9-0 over Cincinnati in the 4th. They knocked Jack Armstrong out of that game in the first inning. Phillies have 6 dates left with the Dodgers. Fastball, it's on the corner for a strike, 1-1.
Was inside corner. And a struggle for Gooden, and yet it's still a 1-1 ball game.
When you think about all the trouble he's been in, the Phillies should have more than just 1 run. A little bouncer out toward first. That's a foul ball. Magadan played it, but in foul territory. The Phillies have already left 4 on base, and of course they have 2 more right here. Tom Herr at third base and Charlie Hayes over at first base. No comeback. Pittsburgh has jumped out to a 4-0 lead over Montreal. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pirates with a 1.5 jump on the Mets right now. Dykstra will have to protect against that curveball here. 1-2. A punch shot to left field. It's going to be trouble. It's in for a hit. Phillies take the lead as Herr scores. Charlie Hayes is being sent around. It's a 2-run double for Dykstra, who is 3 for 3, and the Phillies lead 3-1.
And that'll really hurt the Mets. They were within 1 out of getting out of that inning. Of course, that was, that was one of the things that they had going for them, that Lenny Dykstra was going to come to bat in the inning, even if there were 2 outs. Now, that pitch is a tough pitch. Lenny just reached out there and poked it. I don't think Kevin McClinnell's played it all that well. He probably could have played it into a single if he'd have taken a little better angle at the ball. That's a big hit.
It sure is. And here's another guy who's perfect for the evening. Darren Dalton, 2 for 2. He takes ball 1. Darren has 2 singles and has his batting average up above 250 now. He's at 251. And he has had a tremendous second half of the year. How about Dykstra? 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 1 run scored, 2 runs batted in.
See, he's still trying to get his curveball over. He didn't miss much on that last one. It was a borderline pitch. Some fans.
They miss him. And he was in that center field platoon with Mookie Wilson, who is also no longer here. 2-1. Mookie up at Toronto. They remember him. Well, you can tell Gooden is really struggling. 3-1. The Mets have not visited him at the mound, nor have they gotten anybody up in the bullpen. But this is far from stellar Gooden tonight.
Dutch wanted to jump on a fastball. He went after one that was a little high.
Count is full on him. Right now we're going to pause for station identification. This is the Phillies Television Network.
WTXF, Fox 29 in Philadelphia.
San Diego leading Atlanta 5-0. They're in the bottom half of the fourth inning in Atlanta. Got a piece of it. Cardinals beat the Cubs today 3-1. By 1 percentage point, the Cubs had moved ahead of the Phillies in the standings last night. Big night for Lenny. 3 for 3. Dykstra has 18 hits against the Mets, more than any other Phil by far. In the air to right field, down tight to the line. Foul ball and just barely out of play.
Gooden mixed in a 3-2 curve there, and Dalton got a piece of it. Dutch is, I think, a pretty confident hitter these days, and he should be because he has been hitting so well.
Has already tied his career high in homers, 8, 6 of them since the All-Star break, and all 6 as a number 2 hitter. On the ground up the middle, but there is Jeffries. He's got to make the play to first. He didn't get him. How about Dalton legging it out for an infield single with Dykstra going to third, and the top 2 men in the batting order are each 3 for 3.
Dutch got away well. Jeffries made a good play in the ball. Ball took a bad hop, tried to get something on the throw, and Dutch did beat it. Throwing away from the body momentum. You know, when the first 2 batters in your lineup are 3 for 3, and one of them has 2 doubles, you really ought to have more runs.
It's true. The Phillies have had lots and lots of chances. Von Hayes, the 7th hitter of the inning, comes up. Von is 0 for 2 with his 50th run batted. Then he got it on an infield ground out.
I think Gooden is about a foot short on his fastball tonight. At least a foot shorter than the last time the Phillies saw him. Boy, he had a good fastball.
He did. Are you surprised the Mets haven't got anybody up?
Kinda. You know, they do have, Phillies do have 9 hits off of him.
I know. I keep looking out there, and nobody's moved a muscle in the bullpen.
He's thrown a lot of pitches. Ace could do some real damage here with 2 outs.
Bouncing ball, but this is right at Jeffries. He'll play to first for the final out of the inning. So Vine grounds out, but a good inning for the Phillies as they get 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Phillies lead the Mets 3-1.
I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York.
Time next week, the Phillies will have completed their 3-game series against the Giants at Veterans Stadium. That begins on Tuesday night, the 14th, and the 15th, both at 7:35. And then a week from today, the business person special at 12:35, last one of the year. So get your tickets to see the defending NL champs, the SF Giants. Now the Phillies are ahead 3-1. Howard Johnson leads off the New York 4th inning. Johnson flied to left field and is only at bat tonight. I think it's possible that that shoulder injury that he has suffered bothers him as a right-handed batter more than a left-handed batter.
Which shoulder did he hurt?
I think he hurt the left shoulder.
Well,
this
then
time.
it would. That's his, you know, that's his front arm when he's hitting right-handed.
You know, he had chronic problems with the other shoulder, the throwing arm, but that has not bothered him this year. 1 strike on Howard. Hojo wears number 20 because of Mike Schmidt. He was a fan of Schmidt's. Maybe he would have worn number 24 if he'd have seen him as a Reading, Phil. Mike had number 24 retired tonight in Reading. That was his number up there.
Had a lot of rain in Reading, and I hope they got that ceremony in.
Howard Johnson called out on strikes. We understand that it was rained out, unfortunately.
Howard was looking for here is something that he didn't get. That was that backdoor slider that got a good piece of the plate.
Now Combs will square off against Tim Tuffle. He has scored the only New York run following a walk in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball for a strike to Tuffle. Playing a lot of third base these days with Kevin Elster on the disabled list. Pop up. He was jammed on that. Dickie Thon waits for it. 2 out. Catcher Mackie Sasser. He walked in his only plate appearance. You know, the Mets normally are vulnerable to left-handed pitching. For example, their season record against lefties is 19 wins and 20 losses. But they sure didn't appear very vulnerable yesterday as they whipped up on Don Carmen and his successor Bruce Ruffin.
Six walks given up in the early part of the game didn't help.
Boy, that's true. Don Carmen in 4 innings had to work with 16 base runners, 10 hits and 6 walks. No balls and 2 strikes on Sasser.
That's 4 base runners an inning, and unfortunately there's only 4 bases, and one of them is home plate.
Well, that was dented a few times.
Yeah.
Ground ball out to first baseman John Kruk. He'll do it himself. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning, the first that Combs has enjoyed tonight. At the end of 4 innings, the Phillies lead New York 3-1. Be there when a SWAT team tries to negotiate with a gunman barricaded in a middle-class home on Cops. Saturday night at a new time, 9 p.m. on Fox 29. The West Coast teams are coming to Philadelphia, and the Dodgers and the Padres will be in following a visit to the coast by the Phillies. The Dodgers series begins on Tuesday, August 28th at 7:35. 3 straight night games. Then the Padres in for the weekend, Friday night, August 31st. Saturday, September 1st is a rescheduled doubleheader, so mark your calendar for that one beginning at 5:35. And then Sunday, September 2nd at 1:35, warm-up jacket day. Call the Phillies for tickets at 463-1000. Dale Murphy leads off the 5th inning for the Phillies. They hold a 3-1 lead over Dwight Gooden and the New York Mets. Here's Murph. He is 0 for 2, and he threw out a runner at the plate tonight. The top assist outfielder in the National League is Kevin McReynolds. He has 13 outfield assists, including 1 yesterday. Check swing foul. The Expos have picked up a couple of runs. The Pirates still lead. It's 4-2 Pittsburgh in the 5th. The Dodgers just got their 10th run. 10-0 over Cincinnati in the 5th. What happened to the Reds after the All-Star break?
You know, that's strange. I mean, that was a outstanding ball club.
Gooden can't get that curveball over. 2-1.
Still is an outstanding club. Their hitting hasn't been nearly as potent, nor their pitching, and in particular Jack Armstrong, who got nailed tonight.
Murphy drives one, but Miller gets there. Murphy is 0 for 3 tonight, but he's hit the ball hard 2 out of the 3 times.
Wind is blowing in a little bit tonight. The first one he hit was really smoked, and wind knocked it down. He still hit it 400 feet.
John Kruk struck out and grounded to second. Kruk has been starting to drive the ball a little bit more lately. He's 10 for his last 25. 8 RBIs in the last 8 games.
He's put himself out tonight twice on 3-2 pitches, both curveballs and both bad balls. He's worked the count nicely, but Gooden's gotten him to chase the 2-3-2 curveballs.
There's a bouncer up the middle, but right there is Jeffries. Plants himself, gets it over in time for the out. And a close play, but Kruk is retired. That was a nice play by Jeffries.
Now, Jeffries is really an improved second baseman. He was certainly shaky last year.
You know, Gooden's reaction on that ball was interesting. His instinct was to go for it and decided not to for fear he would deflect it and cost Jeffries the play. He has 2 outs with Tommy Herr at the plate. Tommy is 1 for 2 with a single and a run. Foul tip, strike. Montreal with another run. Pittsburgh 4, Montreal 3, still batting in the top of the 5th. Phillies will see the Expos tomorrow night, and you will too if you tune us in from the Big O at 7:30 tomorrow night. Herr is hit. Doc has nailed his second victim. Got Dickie Thon earlier.
Yeah, he didn't want to hit her. There were 2 outs and nobody on, and he's behind. Sure, he was trying to come in tight. They try to pitch her hard stuff inside. It went in too hard, or too high and too hard.
Yeah, Tommy will tell you it was too hard. Charlie Hayes, good night for Charlie. 2 for 2, 1 single to the left side off Tuffle's glove, 1 single to the right side, and he has scored 1 run. Charlie's average at 273 now. The Expos have taken the lead and the fans are cheering. Montreal 5-4, and it didn't take them long to notice it, did it?
That's Neil Heaton. He's had his problems since the All-Star game. Phillies really put one on him when they got 5 runs in the first off of him.
Yeah. He got off to a sensational start this year, but not much lately. Hayes lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Montreal, they're pretty tough on left-hand pitchers anyway.
And that's why the Phillies have decided to pitch 2 right-handers in their series coming up here in Montreal. They'll go with lefty Terry Mulholland tomorrow, but then Jason Grimsley Saturday and Jose De Jesus Sunday. Tommy Herr runs and the ball is fouled back. One ball, 2 strikes as Herr wins his way back to first base.
Herr had a good jump there. He had that base stolen, but Charlie Hayes fouled off a curveball that he had a pretty good cut at.
That's right-hander Jason Grimsley, and he's studying Doc Gooden here tonight, I'm sure. Herr stays put this time. Hayes fouls another one. The Reds are on the board. They've picked up a couple of runs, but the Dodgers still lead them 10-2 in the 5th. Cardinals beat the Cubs today 3-1 at Wrigley Field. The Phillies have had base runners in every inning. They've had hits in every inning except this one. Doc Gooden has done a lot of his pitching out of the stretch. Charlie Hayes takes it, and Gooden gets only his third strikeout. No runs, no hits, and one left. Halfway through the fifth, the Phillies lead New York 3-1. Doc Gooden leads off the inning, and he's hit, and he charges the mound, and he's into Pat Combs. Gooden didn't like it, and now both teams have come out of the dugout. Boy, Gooden reacted in a hurry. Here come the bullpens into the fray.
I think this is going to be one of those things they had with Cincinnati. This is between the pitchers, basically.
Oh, there are some wild sideline fights here, though. There's the doctor being restrained.
They're still going at it on the sidelines.
Off to the side, skirmishes are tough to break up here.
Joe West has Dennis Cook in a bear hug.
Well, you know, let's face it, there are some guys who just relish in this kind of thing no matter when they happen and where they happen. Well, it looks like Darren Dalton is upset.
Well, you know what? That comes from the two batters being hit by Gooden, Son and Tom Herr. I think they picked a bad time to do it, though. All they did here was put Gooden on base with a 2-run lead. You know, you got to try to get respect in this game, but you also have to try to win the game. Well, we'll see what the umpires do here. There were no warnings because of the two hit batsmen.
So the umpires are asking Buddy Harrelson to stand back. They want to talk it over themselves. And that's always a dangerous time because now the skirmish is about breaking out as the umpires get off to the side.
Well, they're trying to get Gooden out of there, and he's pretty burned up. I don't really think he tried to hit anybody, but he's not that kind of pitcher. But you do have to protect your batters, and he got hit on the leg. It wasn't as though, you know, they were trying to beat him or anything.
It just won't. Strawberry gets into this one. It just won't end.
Now anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. It's a melee now.
Oh, boy. Now it's out of control.
Now you just have to hope that some players don't get hurt out of this. Steve Lake hurt himself the last time the Phillies had a melee in Cincinnati. There's still a big pile going on over here. It's still very much in.
And they're still trying to get Gooden out of there. Charlie Hayes right in the middle of it. In fact, Tim Tuffle. What they better do is get the two teams off the field if they can. Howard Johnson. There goes Strawberry again.
Strawberry's at it again.
Oh, boy.
This is a shame.
You know, they better get the police out there. The police are just standing there.
police are making certain that no fans get involved in this, and nobody has come onto the field as yet.
Well, you got Gooden and Strawberry, who it looked like it was over, and then Strawberry got mad at somebody.
It's ironic, isn't it? They were accusing Strawberry of being too placid earlier this year. Well, he certainly isn't tonight.
Somebody's down there, and they're still tugging away. O'Malley.
Just about the time you let somebody go, they get back into the fray again.
Holding Gooden off. Greg Pavlik, one of the coaches.
There's Irish Mike in the middle of it. That doesn't surprise anybody. These Met fans are yelling for Darrell now. They're happy about his involvement in this. Boy, the umpires are really going to have their hands full, Whitey.
They better get the two teams separated and then kind of figure out what they're going to do. You know, they'd be lucky, Andy, if nobody really got hurt in there. You know, what if a Strawberry or Gooden breaks a finger?
Yeah.
Or any of the players, really.
Well, like I mentioned, Steve Lake was hurt the last time that the Phillies got involved in this type of thing.
Oddly enough, but you know, the two pitchers, Combs and Gooden, probably two of the nicest guys on either team. But I suppose Pat Combs was doing what he was told to do.
Now the umpires are beginning to huddle with the two skippers. And we'll see what is the result of this, but I'd say there's a very good chance that Gooden and Combs will both be out of the game.
Gooden, Combs got a nick on his nose there, as you can see. Gooden, it looked like Gooden had a black eye. That peeled on the nose.
It was on the very first pitch of the bottom half of the fifth inning that Gooden, leading off, got nailed by a pitch. If we have a chance, we'll try to look at it again because it happened so quickly.
You know, I don't think either pitcher will get tossed out.
Don't you?
It was just a fight. There were no initial warnings given to either pitcher. Now there will be warnings given now. Although it doesn't appear that Combs, he's in the dugout, maybe just trying to pull himself together a little bit. I didn't think that was going to be much at the start, but it turned into a pretty bad affair down there.
Well, they're still talking about what the repercussions are going to be of this. And it doesn't look like Lave is too happy.
Well, they might be. They might be. If they throw Combs out, I would imagine they'd have to take Gooden out. I don't think they'll take one starting pitcher out and leave the other one in there.
Some Phillies are on the field, others are not. And they have a lot of sorting out to do before we can continue. And I'm not sure that at this point Combs knows where he stands vis-a-vis continuing in the game tonight.
Well, you know, these two pitchers aren't headhunters, neither one of them. And I think they're just kind of caught up in the circumstances here. It's just one of those things that happen in baseball, and sometimes the innocent go with the guilty.
They're doing a lot of writing there. It might be more than two names. Might well be more than two.
Well, there were, I don't know how they could write down all the people that were in there, because to me, like a lot of players on both clubs, were involved. The Mets kind of standing by, waiting.
Everybody awaiting their fate. The umpires have directed that the participants go to the dugouts, and Combs is in the Phillies dugout, and you see Doc in the Mets dugout. And the skippers are looking over their lineup cards, wondering how many players they will have left to make their moves tonight.
Well, you know, after the initial brouhaha, then now if somebody starts it again, now I think you have grounds to eliminate some players. It's like a hockey game. They talk about the second and third man in and that kind of thing. Well, there were a lot of those.
Buddy Harrelson goes toward his dugout. Leyva still on the field with the umpires.
Well, here's the start of it. Gooden was hit on the knee, and Dalton got in there on Gooden. I think that's Miller piling on from the Mets. Looked like it was kind of isolated right there in the middle.
Oh,
that's where Combs got his nose peeled. And there's Miller piling in there. There's Dickie Thon. And all of them. John Vukovic grabbing somebody.
Hal Lanier was walking back toward the dugout.
Both bullpens. And then for some reason, Strawberry got incensed when it looked like it was all settled down.
Darren Dalton had left his helmet and mask out at the plate, and Hal Lanier just brought it back to the dugout. I wonder whether Dalton is going to be among those ejected from the game.
There's Tuffle piling in.
It looks to me as though there's the possibility of more Phillies being ejected than Mets, because Harrelson has retreated to his dugout. Darren Dalton is out of the game, we believe. And I think because Nick Leyva is out, still arguing that there's a good chance more Phillies are going to suffer the consequences than New Yorkers here.
McDowell trying to hold Gooden off. Now here's Straw. Now watch him. He blasted off. Truck went in there after him. And here they go again.
Hal Lanier has just motioned for somebody to get up in the Phillies bullpen, so that further leads you to believe that Pat Combs is out of the game. So I believe the Phillies have lost their battery as a minimum.
Irish Mike Ryan. He loves these things.
He loves them. He waits all year for these. He's had 2 good ones this year.
Well, this is
Whitey, they're announcing on the press PA here the players who have been ejected. I don't know how they have it so quickly, but they've just announced the names. Would you be kind enough to go get the names of the players who have been ejected, please?
Well,
we don't have press PA here in the
Ackerfeld is coming in to pitch.
Yes.
I don't understand that. I mean, Dalton is out there trying to take care of his pitcher. How can you throw him out for that? I mean, if they throw Dalton out, they have to throw Gooden out. They have to throw Strawberry out.
There's Bobby Ojeda. He's going to be the new Mets pitcher. Bobby Ojeda may even start this game.
Now Cookie is getting on. I think umpire Joe West.
One of the unfortunate things about this is that it's happened here at the top of the 5th, so that Pat Combs cannot win the game. The Phillies can, but he can't.
Von Hayes, he's really taking, I think, who's that, Strawberry? Ooh, what a pile up.
right, here's a list of the players who have been ejected for the Phillies. Combs, Cook, Dalton, and Coach Mike Ryan. And for the Mets, Strawberry, Tuffle, and Gooden. So I was correct. More Phillies than Mets. 4 Phillies and 3 Mets have been ejected from the game. There's Irish Mike. Combs, Cook, and Dalton. Strawberry, Tuffle, and Gooden.
Irish Mike, he feels he didn't get his money's worth.
Well, they can always meet in the runway back behind where nobody's looking. Ackerfelds will start to loosen up. Take a while for him to get ready. He was not throwing in the bullpen, obviously. The Phillies coasting along and leading 3-1, and Combs having given up just 3 hits. And then he plunks Gooden to start the inning, and that was about 20 minutes ago.
I'll never forget a National League umpire who cleared the Phillies bench one day because the people on the bench were, a couple of guys were getting on the umpire, so he cleared the whole bench. And one of our players who had not said a word said, "How can you throw me out? I haven't said a word." The umpire said, "This is like a raid on a house of ill repute. The good go with the bad."
Yeah. Baseball fights are a little like that. Although, let's face it, there were an awful lot of guys involved in the fight that didn't get thrown out of the game. They've obviously gotten the main culprits.
And the Mets are going to have a runner on first and nobody out.
And I wonder, Whitey, do you think that runner at first will be a heater, or do you think they'll put a pinch runner in and allow him to continue throwing in the bullpen?
Well, with the players that Buddy Harrelson has lost, I imagine he might go with Ojeda. You know, he's out there warming up along with Ackerfeld. You don't want to, you know, throw too many players out there. He could use another pitcher as a pinch runner.
The Phillies hold a 3-1 lead in this game.
I think the Phillies could have delivered the same message without hitting the batter.
How would you do that?
Knock him down. Dust him off. You get your message across, and yet you still don't put the runner on. Your first priority is still to win the game.
The fans are booing because the names of the Mets ejected have just been flashed on the message board here.
Now, we have a lot of baseball left to play in this game. Right in the middle of it, the Mets batting in the bottom of the 5th.
So Tom Nieto will be the new Phillies catcher. Darren Dalton has to leave the ball game where he is 3 for 3.
That becomes a bit of a problem also for Nick Leyva, in that he's lost one of his catchers. And with Steve Lake injured and on the disabled list, Leyva doesn't have the luxury of a third regular catcher.
Darrell Ackerfelds is among the league leaders in appearances. This is his 51st game tonight. He is undefeated, 4-0, 2.75 earned run average. 3 saves for Ackerfelds with the knuckle curveball.
Well, he should be about ready. You know, he's a bullpen pitcher. I guess he is ready now.
And the Mets have not yet put a runner at first base. The batter is going to be Keith Miller. Looks like Ron Darling is going to come out and run. Darling will run, allowing Ojeda to stay in the bullpen and continue warming up. It looks like after about a 25 to 30 minute delay, I'm just guessing now, it's been a while though, but we are about ready to resume. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Ackerfeld's in a nice spot. He inherits a 3-1 lead, and he can be the winning pitcher in this game if he pitches well, because starter Pat Combs cannot win it. Miller is 0 for 2, picked up an RBI on a ground out in the 2nd inning. Nobody out. Blotch on Ackerfeld's mark is that he does walk too many. We've remarked about that at times. He has 41 walks in 68 2/3 innings. And he has more walks than strikeouts. 41 walks, 29 strikeouts. Strike, 2-1. Keith Miller taking over the other half of the center field platoon. Mark Carrion had been out there, but he's been slumping lately. A good bunt. He was not trying to sacrifice. They'd probably give him a sacrifice, but he was bunting for a hit. So Miller is out. The batter will be Dave Magadan. Magadan has walked and struck out. Has missed on the first pitch to each of his first 2 hitters. Phillies ahead 3-1 in an action-packed 5th inning. Even though Combs can't win it, Gooden can lose it. 2-0. Mets leading the league in runs scored, averaging over 5 a game, and they've scored just once tonight. In the air to right field, Murphy makes the play. Tagging at second base is Darling, and he will go to third base. 2 out. Greg Jeffries will move around and bat from the left side now. That's one thing about bringing in a right-hander. You allow some of these Mets to turn around and bat left-handed, which is their better side for most of them. Jeffries this evening 1 for 2. It was a bad hop single over Charlie Hayes' head. Hitter that Ackerfeld's has started with a strike.
And the first time he's been able to get that knuckle curve over. It's a key pitch for him.
Should be caught. Dykstra takes charge. And that's the third out. So no damage done, despite the fact that about a half hour ago, Doc Gooden was hit by a pitch to start the inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. And after 5, it's 3-1 Phillies. We have some new Mets in the game. Miller, of course, was in there, but now he's playing in right field. Darrell Boston takes over in center pasture. And Tom O'Malley is the new third baseman. Bobby Ojeda is the New York pitcher now, with the Phillies leading 3-1 as we go to the 6th inning. Ojeda was a starter earlier in the year, but Bobby has been working out of the bullpen now for the last 15 games. He's 5-5, 3.68 earned run average. Leading off for the Phillies is Dickie Thon. Pitcher Darryl Ackerfelds is on deck. Dickie tries to bunt his way aboard.
Ojeda's out pitch is that little changeup that he turns over. It's almost like a screwball. He's been hit around a little bit this season.
Base hit for Dickie Thon. Bobby Ojeda greeted with a base hit, and that's the 10th hit of the game for the Phillies. That's perfect for Ackerfelds. He can come up and try to move him along. Check the scoring in this ball game tonight. The Mets scored first, and they did so in the 2nd inning, converting a couple of walks and an infield ground out by Keith Miller into the first run. The Phillies converted Lenny Dykstra's double in the 3rd inning into a run when Von Hayes grounded out. Phillies got 2 more in the 4th inning, doubled in by Lenny Dykstra, who is 3 for 3 in the ball game. And that's the way we stand right now. Ackerfelds to bunt.
Good play. Ojeda has a good move. Everybody knows he has a good move. You know, Dickie knew the bunt was on, so he didn't have to get a real big lead. That's a bad idea.
Ackerfelds is 1 for 3. Here's a pop-up, going to be trouble, but coming over in a hurry is Miller now in right, and he makes the catch.